how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. We are continuing on with my top 10 series where I am sharing my top 10 favorites of different aspects of my makeup collection. I've already done my cream and liquid blushes, and this one's gonna be more specific to my powder blushes because I really just wanted to put them in two separate videos this time. I didn't want to combine them because I like them for different reasons, and I feel like I have totally different vibes with what I like as far as colors and formulas go with each type of blush. So we're talking about my single powder blushes today. I'm really excited to share them with you. I would love to hear what you think my top favorites are. Don't cheat. I just want to kind of gauge what you think my favorites are based on what you've seen me use and love over however long. Some might be a new favorite, some might be an old favorite. You'll just have to see. I would also love to hear what your top favorite blushes are. Please leave them down below. I love hearing what you're using and loving and seeing like what we have in common, or maybe it sparks something new for me or somebody else in the comments. And just stay tuned, more of my top 10 series is coming. I'll be doing highlighters next, and then we'll be getting into lip products and then single shadows and eyeshadow palettes, all the fun things. I'm not doing like complexion products and bronzers just because I only have 10 or less, so it just seems silly, but I did do ranking videos for both of those categories recently if you're curious about what my top favorites are. Before we get into it, I did of course film this look. It's from my members only video for June. You can sign up to join my channel memberships down below. You'll get access to this video and the ones I've already uploaded and all the future ones coming up. And as far as my accessories today go, I don't know where this choker is from because it's very old, and these earrings are from Spooky Doodle Club on Etsy. So yeah, without further ado, let's hop in and chat about my top 10 favorite blushes. Hello! We are gonna talk about my top 10 favorites like powder blushes, my singles. I already did my creams and liquids like I mentioned, so if you're curious about those, you can check out that video. It should already be up on my channel. But today we are attacking my single powder blushes. These are my top 10 favorites in my collection. I'm obsessed with them and I'm really excited to share them with you. Like I mentioned in the last video, I use so much blush. I use blush all the time. I'm constantly using different ones, so if you think I'm missing one, it's not that I like forgot it per se, it's just going through my collection. These are the ones that I decided deserve the top 10 spot for me, just based on my own internal vibes and what my heart was telling me. Now, I am going over singles specifically because I didn't want to like talk about individuals that exist within palettes because that just seemed, I don't know, that just didn't fit in what I wanted to do for this, but I am going to chat about my like honorable mention favorite blush palette to kick it off. My favorite blush palette in my collection remains my Lunar Beauty Moon Prism blush. I believe this was my favorite last year as well. It's so good. I'll swatch the glowy one and then like one of the matte ones as well, just so you can get an idea on how beautiful they are. Look how cute. I wish Manny would come out with like a all shimmer blush palette because that is such a good blush. I love both of those. They're really pigmented, they're really easy to blend, and this is my favorite blush palette. Now, let's kick it off with the official top 10 of 2023. Number 10 is a newer one in my collection. This one's from Lethal Cosmetics in the shade Carnation. Let me flip it so it's not upside down for you. I only just got this recently, and honestly, I was kind of surprised that I fell in love with this one the way I did, and I didn't even know that it was gonna be in this video, but when I was going through all of my blushes this morning, I was like, you know, I really do love that one. I love the formula, I love the glow, I love Lethal's blushes in general, and I really did kind of want to include one, and this is the one I felt compelled to reach for the most, so I figured we could talk about it. It's a really pretty kind of cool tone pink, shimmery, glowy magic. It's just so good. I don't even want to say shimmery per se because it doesn't have sparkles, but it leaves the most gorgeous glow on your skin. Like you could put this on as your blush and then skip highlight if you wanted to, just because it makes your face so glowy. I love this one. It's not a color I reach for every day, but I have been more into these cool tone pinks over the last year, and this one makes me really happy. Now, number 9, skipping away from the cool tone pinks for a second to something super vibrant. I feel like my moods for powder blush are like a brownie neutral, cool tone pink, or like bright coral or orangey tones. Like those are my moods. Aloha Honey was a blush from the summer Hello Kitty Colourpop collection a few summers back. And this has been one of my favorites for a long time. Honestly, I don't have that many Colourpop blushes anymore because I really condensed down my blush collection during last year's declutter, but this is one of the ones that stuck around. It's just so pretty, it's so vibrant. I don't have anything else like this. It's just such a cool shade and blends so nicely. I'm really into it. Moving on to number 8 is one of the new Oden's Eyes blushes in the shade Peach Gleam. They came out with 6 new blushes. Like, oh my gosh, it's been a little while now, like probably 8, 9, 10 months ago. It's been a while. But this is beautiful. This is one of my favorites of the 6. It's just a really glowy, orangey, peachy. I love the shine that goes through it. Again, it leaves your cheeks so super glowy. I really, really like this one. I've reached for it so many times. I just love the blendability. I love that color. I love an orangey cheek. I just think it's so pretty, and this one makes me really happy. Number 6 is the Sigma blush. This one's the shade Bronze Star. It's one of their like shimmery, glowy blushes, and I adore it. Like I said, I really like kind of a brownie cheek as well, and I love a glowy blush, like glowy over matte all day, every day for me. I do have some mattes in the mix, like this one was a matte here, for instance, and I have a few more, but as a general rule, glowy is what I prefer, and I just think this one is lovely. It gives you such a beautiful sun-kissed, bronzy vibe. It's just so beautiful. I love a brownie cheek. I think it's so gorgeous, and this one I've reached for quite a few times, and I always feel so beautiful. Next up, number 6, rounding out the bottom 5 of this top 10, this is the Kaleidos blush in the shade Joyride. This like mustardy, brownie, neutrally blush. Are you kidding me? Look at that. That is gorgeous. I wore this so much autumn last year. It's just so pretty. It's one of my go-to kinds of colors. I just think it's so flattering. It goes with so many of the kinds of looks that I do, and it's just beautiful. And even though the Kaleidos blushes are matte, I feel like it allows my glowy products to peek through underneath. So they're just fantastic. They're so pigmented, and they're so easy to blend. They blend like butter. You barely have to work at it. And I'm so happy with that color. And kicking off the top 5 with another Kaleidos blush that I'm obsessed with is this one in the shade Dreamwalk. Like I said, I'm really into a cool tone pink as of the last year, and this one does spark a lot of joy. It's like bright but muted at the same time. It's cool toned but not like gray looking or anything. It's just so cute and playful and youthful. I've reached for this so many times. Like this is, I mean, obviously it's the one I've reached for the most from Kaleidos because it's ranked above the one I just talked about, but you can kind of even see the dent that's forming in there. I love that color. I think it's so cutesy. I was so against cool tone pinks for a very long time, but they definitely hold a place in my heart now. Number 4 is a long time favorite. This is my Colourpop blush in the shade Trippin', one of the only Colourpop blushes I still have. It's this one, Aloha Honey, and maybe one more that I've tried this year. But this one is just so good. Again, that toasted, yummy brownie vibe. It's so pretty. This one has a really pretty glow to it as well. It's just so delicious. Again, I love this in the fall and winter specifically, but I've worn this more times than I can count. It's just absolutely everything. Oh, I love it. Like you can see my moods here. Give me brown, give me peachy orange, or give me cool tone pink. That's all I want in a powder blush. Moving into my top 3, this is one of the other Odin's Eyes ones in the shade Orange Sunny. I love this one. I don't know what it is about this one, but I've reached for it so much. Just that beautiful burnt orange. This one's more of a matte, whereas Peach Gleam that I mentioned earlier is more of like a glowy, shimmery one. But this is just so rich, so saturated, so blendable, and I am so in love with it. Moving on to number 2 is my Sigma blush in the shade Core derosa. It's just such a classic. I only just started trying Sigma products for the first time last year, and I understand the hype now. I get why this specific shade is like a favorite amongst people because it's just so glorious. This beautiful like neutral vibe. It's blendable. It's lovely. It's just everything that I needed, and I'm obsessed with it. It's a matte versus like the glowy one here. But again, I feel like with my glowy products underneath, I can still get that glow on my skin. It doesn't make me look dry. And I love, it's so good. I think I ranked my cream Core derosa number 2 in my cream video, actually. And moving on to number 1, I will be surprised if this surprises you because this has remained my favorite for years. So this is from Melt. This is technically a highlighter, but I've used this as a blush for years, like probably at least 4 years, maybe even 5. It's just the perfect color for me. Again, I love this kind of corally, peachy vibe. I love that gold shimmer that goes through. And again, this is a highlighter. Technically, it's in the highlighter category, but I've used this as a blush more times than I can count. It's just perfect. perfection. It always looks so good on the skin. If you have a deep skin tone, this would be the most killer highlight in the entire world, but if you're a ghost, you can use it as a blush like me and feel like an absolute fairy. It's amazing. So yeah, this is the lineup of all my blushes. 3 moods. I have 3 moods apparently when it comes to my favorite powder blushes, and I am not mad at it. I think these are absolutely stunning. And I love this series. I love kind of taking the time to reflect on like what I loved in years prior versus this year, because I always reference my older ones as well, just to kind of see where I was at versus where I'm at now. And it always makes me happy to see like my taste change, or sometimes even stay the same. Like some things never change, like brownie blushes I don't think will ever be something I don't like. So yeah, these are my top 10. I hope you like them. Let's finish up this video. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to hear your thoughts. Are you as obsessed with any of the blushes I mentioned today as much as I am? Do you want to pick any up for yourself? Again, please let me know your top favorite blushes as well. If you made it to the end of this video, leave colors of emojis that you love to see in blush. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps my channel out a lot. And if you're not already, you can follow me on my other socials. You can join the battybean fam. I'm battybean on everything, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And feel free to subscribe if you haven't. I post most days here as well. And like I said before, you can join my channel memberships. The link to sign up is down below. You'll get a little badge by your name. You'll get exclusive little emojis, and you'll get a members only get ready with me once a month. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.